Good morning. I just wanted to welcome you to my kitchen. I really miss how we used to gather. And knowing that I can't do that, I'm so grateful for this way to come into each other's lives. Today I am especially mindful that this is the day that the Lord has made. I invite you to say that wherever you are. It's one of those Bible passages that I remember. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let's say it one more time. Say it loud. Maybe your neighbors will hear. I'm so inspired by stories of neighborhoods, how they've connected through this time. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. These 9 minutes are a chance for us as Synod staff to connect with you across the miles and to share some of our thoughts and practices. In February, I had my tonsils removed. It was a horrible thing. If you're an adult and have had your tonsils removed, you deserve a prize, an award. And I was home, and thankfully I had a spouse who took care of me, but my lifeline were getting letters and cards and notes from people. In particular, there were 2 notes that I really felt hit me here in my heart. The first was from the staff. And I don't know if you've been a recipient of these or not, but every staff meeting we pray. We pray for people, we pray for bishops throughout the country, and we pray probably for you. Not just probably, we do. We sign a card and we read each name and we witness to the life and the ministry that you are doing. So to receive that card reminded me that I am part of a network, a connection, a staff that cares about me and my healing so that we can do God's work for the sake of the world. Now the second one was from my friend Karen. Karen and I have known each other for a long time, and through our lives we have written a lot of letters to one another. But it had been a long time since I had gotten such a newsy letter from her. It was full of things she was doing on vacation and thoughts and dreams and whispers and passions and things that she cared about. It was so good to read that letter and to feel for a moment she was in my space. So, once I opened Karen's letter, I decided that I was going to write a note every day for the season of Lent. It's been my Lenten practice, so I'm going to let you in on this practice and encourage you to be about and to do a similar thing. I don't know about you, but I love cards and I have a big giant bin of them, so I collected enough for the season of Lent and put them in a bowl on my kitchen table. This space where I come to every day, every morning to make my tea, every evening to gather with my spouse for dinner, as long as we're not out doing other stuff. So every day in the season of Lent, I have been writing a note to someone. And the responses I've gotten are pretty amazing. It reminds me how important letters are and handwritten correspondence. Especially in a time like this, the notes have become even more important. An important part of my day to pause and to think, an important part of the other's day as they open their mailbox and find something other than bills and maybe some news ads and some flyers from stores that we aren't going to be shopping in for a little bit of time. So today's note is, I've had it for a long time. Shout out to Mercantile Homes, small business in Easton, Pennsylvania. It's a yarn ball and it reminds me, this is what I do. I take it and I think of who it reminds me of, and I write a letter. So today, if you're watching, Kathy Ryer, this one's for you. Kathy was the secretary at Lutheran Congregational Services, and she taught me how to knit. I was a disaster at knitting. It took 3 people, so shout out to BK and to Diana if you're watching. It took the 3 of them to teach me how to knit. And so a ball of yarn will always remind me first of those 3 women who took their time to teach me something new. So this one's for Kathy. Now, lest you think I'm just babbling about something that is a secular act, the writing of notes, I'm reminded that one of my first realizations of the importance of letters came at St. John's Lutheran Church in Stroudsburg. It's where I was confirmed and where I went week after week, month after month, to learn from Pastor Donald Hendersheet. I will never forget, there's just certain things. I forget a lot about confirmation, a lot, like most of it. But when he told us that the New Testament was actually a collection of letters to people in actual places, something clicked in my brain. You see, sometimes I didn't understand the big concepts shared in those letters that we listened to week after week in worship, but I could get the importance of corresponding with communities that needed a word and a hope and a promise, a connection across miles and through jail cells into the world. So as you write your letters, I encourage you to write one today. Remember the connection through time to those ancient letters that are giving us hope right now, have given us hope and will give us hope tomorrow, who confuse us, yes, and who sometimes those letters just ramble on. Mine do too. Connect yourself to the world through a pen, piece of paper, or a card you've been having and holding for a really long time. Take the time as a precious remembrance of the person you're sharing with. I don't know about you, but I've gotten creative about a lot of things this week. And I hope that we continue to do that. These 9 at 9s have been a special time for us as leaders and hopefully for you. And we will continue them as long as they are helpful and important in at least one person's life. We're committed to being present with you in your homes or in your work or in your car or outside when it's beautiful and we can sit there again. Today I'm going to close us out with a poem. This poem is important to me and I had forgotten about it until I opened this book. But poetry is never far from my mind, so I hope you'll sit back, relax, listen. I've noticed a lot of people on social media have used this story hour. Well, I hope that you can hear this as Poetry Minute. It's a poem called Kindness, and it's a blessing for your day. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment, like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and think the bus will never stop, the passengers eating maize and chicken will stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he too was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness is the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow is the deepest other thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it until your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore, only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to mail letters and purchase bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere like a shadow or a friend. Kindness, my friends. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.